Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a mid-year book tag because when you're seeing this, it is the July 2nd, which is the mid-year marking point of the year. I thought, why not do a mid-year book tag? And I'm just going to answer a bunch of questions for the first half of the year. I'll link all the questions down below, so if you want to answer them in your own video or do something like that, go ahead. Most beautiful book you've bought so far this year. And for me, I actually have 3 because I could not pick. If I'm being completely honest, I fall in love with way too many book covers. But the first one is Cloud Cuckoo Land by Anthony Dewey. I think that this cover is literally just so stunning with the gold and the blue. I think it just pops so much. I've yet to actually read this book, but I've heard amazing things about his writing. I'm really excited to read this. Next, we actually have Fable, which I actually just bought yesterday. I think this book cover is also stunning. I think it's just like how it is like artistic and it just like looks like it was drawn, that it just drew me right to it. I will say that I do actually really love this cover, which I don't know where you can find it. I think it's like the UK edition, but I still really love this one. And then finally, for this question, I have 5 Broken Blades. This is, I'm pretty sure, a newer release this year, but it's not even this cover. Like, the cover is really pretty as well, but it is, under the dust jacket is stunning. Like, and these beautiful edges. I think that it's definitely has to be one of my favorite book designs ever, and just like the inside as well is stunning. And I cannot wait to read this one as well. Please let me know if you have read it and if it's good, because I've heard amazing things so far. The most disappointing read. And I actually have 2 books here as well. First one is a book that like so many people love and so many people tell me that I'm gonna love as well. But for me personally, I did not like The Cruel Prince. I think that it could get better with the other books in the series, but for me personally, I just didn't like any of the characters, especially Carden. The only character that I really liked was Jude, but even her, she was like a little odd to me. But I do say that I like this cover, and I'm hoping that the series does continue to get better, because I did rate this one like a 3 stars. Definitely just wasn't my favorite of the year. We actually have a book that is by one of my favorite authors, Holly Jackson. She wrote the A Girl's Guide to Murder series, which I love so much. One of my favorite books of last year was the last book in that series, but this one, The Reappearance of Rachel Price, was just so disappointing for me. What books made you cry? And I have 2 books here. The first one is a book that y'all have been telling me to read for so long now, and it's The Book Thief. And y'all were right. I gave this 5 stars. I think this book is definitely one of my favorites of this year. And I'm just like, I can't believe I waited so long to read this book. Like, y'all, I know y'all are telling me to read it, but also destroyed me. Next is Before the Coffee Gets Cold. No idea how to say that name, sorry. Definitely was just so impactful for me personally, and I found I got so connected to these characters, and in just like such a short amount of pages as well. It's like 200 pages. It's just like insane what this book did to me, and I absolutely love this book so much. It's probably the most surprising read of the year. I also have 2 for this. The first one is The Storied Life of A.J. Thackeray by Gabrielle Zevin. I knew I was gonna like it just because I've heard amazing things about the writing and the story, but I didn't think I would love it this much. I think I gave it a 4.5 stars. I think this storyline was just so impactful for me, and the characters and the development throughout the story was insane. The ending caught me off guard. It was just such a surprising book for me. Next is The Great Alone by Christina Hanna. This was just so surprising because I've never read a book by her, and I didn't really know what I was getting into with the writing, the storyline. Literally heard nothing about it, jumped into it blind. This was a 5 stars as well this year. I just think this book was absolutely just stunning in every way possible, and I loved every character. It was just beautiful. the book you least like. Mine was The Lake by Natasha Princeton. I think this book could have been good, but I was so disappointed by it. Because I remember liking the characters in her other books a lot more than I did in this book. I think that the storyline and the characters in this book just kind of threw me for a loop, and I was like, what is happening? I just do not like this book. It's my favorite new author, which I actually have two for. First is Lauren Roberts. She's the author of Powerless. I fell in love with this book so much, and I'm gonna talk about it later for another question, but I just will read everything that this author writes. This was also her debut novel, which I just have to say is insane. I'm so happy for her because it was literally, you know, stunning. Next is Brandon Sanderson. I've only read one book so far, but I will definitely be reading more just because his writing was beautiful in this book, and I cannot wait to read more by him. And another author I absolutely loved his book was Jason Reluca. I cannot wait for his new book coming up, which I'll talk about later, but I think that his writing and his storytelling was insane, and I absolutely love this book literally so much. My favorite sequel of the year, and I actually haven't read a sequel, so honestly don't know what I can put for this other than Powerful by Lauren Roberts. This is like a novella in between the first and second book, but I think it counts because technically it's after the first, so that makes it a sequel, maybe. But I loved it. It was heartwarming but also heart-drenching at the same time, and it's just like, I loved it. Next is a book that you would like to reread. I have two books for this. The first one is The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. This book had so many beautiful quotes in it, as well as just like such an impactful message, and so, for such like a short book as well, it's like less than 300 pages, so beautifully written. I just absolutely fell in love with this book. Next, I'm really excited to reread this one as well. It is, again, less than 200 pages, so short, but it is The Five People You Meet in Heaven, Mitch Albom. I actually cannot wait to reread this. I think that this book can be so impactful the second time around because I love this book so much. The first time, I absolutely fell in love with his writing in this book, and I cannot wait to read more by him. Next question is your most anticipated new releases. Personally, I have 7 books to tell you. The first one is Reckless by Lauren Roberts. It's the second book in the Powerless trilogy, and I'm so excited to read that. It's literally coming in the mail tonight, and I cannot wait. Next is Nothing Like the Movies, which is like the sequel to Better Than the Movies, which I read last year, and I love that book so much. I thought it was so cute, fun, fast-paced. It's The Grandest Game and Games Untold. It's actually 2 different books by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. These are both books in the same world as the Inheritance Games series, which you guys know how much I love, and I'm so excited to read more in this world. Next is The Life Impossible. This is actually the same author as The Midnight Library. I, again, love this book so much, so I'm so excited what he has up next in his sleeve. Next is actually the same author, Hidden Pictures, Jason Reluca. His new book is The Last One at the Wedding, and I'm so excited for that book as well because I already can tell that it's gonna be so good just by the description and his writing from the last book I read. I hope you guys liked this video, and hopefully you got some new recommendations. I hope you guys liked this video, and if you did, of course, like, comment, and subscribe. You guys know how to do it. I think I want to share with you guys my reading goal and how I'm going with that right now. So I actually wanted to read 100 books so far this year, and I've read 71. I'm like 16 or something like that books ahead of schedule right now. See you guys in my next video. I love you so much. Bye!